Well, hi everyone. It's Glenda from Chasing Our Dreams. Walter's at work. He should be home soon. I'm watching the dog. That's why I keep looking over there. Make sure he doesn't get in trouble. Um, Sitting on the front porch and contemplating my garden. Let me look at turn it. It's about time to get the garden beds ready for planting. And I'm thinking about going ahead, even though winter's not over. It's just a reprieve for a few days. It's warm. It's in the 70s. Um, I want to plant carrots and onions. And I'm late planting my garlic. I should have done that in the fall, but I can plant them in the spring. There's Chaos hanging out. He's having fun checking everything out. And see, the trees are still bare, but there's buds on everything. You can just see a little hint of green on everything. So I'm excited for spring. Spring and fall are my favorite seasons. So Walt and I talked about in that far bed there is where I'll put the carrots and stuff. The soil is looser in that bed, but we need to everything's sunk down so much that we need to get another load of compost and dirt. I need to clean out the tomato bed and just clean everything out. That's my flower bed, and I have some perennials in there, but I can't remember which ones are. So I'm probably just going to clean everything out, and a nice ground cover is budding. I think I'm going to put that over by the pond or something, see if it'll take root. Or maybe even right here. I mean, I want some grass there, but we're going to put gravel. Everything's so muddy. We had a little bit of gravel in the front part. The Walt's truck with those big old tires, man. It's made a mess in my yard. I want grass seed, but that might be good good cover too. And I'm trying to plan out my beds. I still like to have the flower bed in the front. I think that's so pretty. And then again, the root vegetables back there, the carrots. I think I'm going to put the colder weather because that gets more shade over there. So the cooler things, peas. I don't know if I'll try brassicas. I might. That's your broccoli, cauliflower. I'm going to try some cabbage for sure. I'm not sure where I'm going to do my potato patch this year, and I need to get those in the ground too. Whenever it's spring like this, but it's going to get, we're going to get another frost. We're going to get another cold. It's inevitable. So I can plant my root vegetables. So potatoes, yams, carrots, onions, things that are underground so that they're pretty protected can go in there. And I'll still give them some cover, put a clear cover over top so they'll get sunlight. It'll be like a greenhouse effect a little bit. But that is too small for my potatoes because we want a lot more. We got a lot of potatoes out of there, but I want a lot more. So I might have to build another bed just for potatoes or do it above ground with dirt, compost, and then a lot of straw. People do straw for potatoes, and that seems to work out really well too. So if I do that, it'll be in the back there. So root vegetables in the far one where it's cooler, and the peas. Maybe I'll do peas in that, peas and beans in that. I don't know. That one will be our tomatoes, and probably collards again. Did well in there, and the peppers did really well in that one. So we'll keep that with that. This with flowers. I might put my herbs in this one where the tomatoes, where my beefsteak tomatoes were. I'm not sure. I do want to have them more contained. My strawberries are out there, but I think I'm going to move my strawberries and my blueberries further in because the groundhogs and things got them out there. So peach trees got buds on them. Both peach trees do, and the apple trees have buds on them. The pear tree has a couple, but not many. I'm going to clean up the look of that hedge pretty soon. Try to do some trimming and clipping of the blackberry bushes and the grapevines, because that's why the berries weren't sweet, is because they're just old vines. They need to be cut back. And we do have blackberries up here on the hill somewhere. I think we're going to keep our lettuce on the hill because they did really well there. As you can see, some lettuce is still growing up there on the hill, right by that lamp light right there. And my spruce tree did well up there. These we're going to plant over beyond the cabin at the boundary of our property so that we can kind of screen out the neighbors' trucks and cars and mess. You know, living in Tennessee, there's no HOA, there's no codes, which is great because you can do whatever you want on your land. But it's not great because the neighbors could do whatever they want on their land too. So we're going to try to screen that out a little bit, because if I want an Airbnb here, they're not going to want to be looking at that. And someday that cabin is, the hope is, what I'm thinking is remove the back part and just redo this front part to make an Airbnb, and either put parking there or put an outdoor kitchen there or just something there, you know, who knows what it'll be. And then over here is where my chickens are going to go. I'm going to get chickens this year, we decided. And then there's the outdoor garden way out there, which Walt said he didn't like it out there, so I don't know if he's going to redo it. The fence is still up. I think we just need some good dirt in there and good compost, and clean up that area. Once the chickens are over there, we're going to be going over there every day. So with the garden right there, that might be a good thing. And so we got the peach trees. Remember, 2 peach trees. And then we have 1 pear tree that's over behind this bush. And then we have 2 apple trees. And the back apple tree is where that fence is around it with the bags. And then there's another one about 6 to 8 feet away from it. And then we just planted a weeping willow. Let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. Weeping willow right there. So that's going to grow up and hang over the pond. And then there's one beyond it too. Over right there. Boom, right there. So that was a good thing, but the bad thing is that our mulberry tree is right there too, about 3 foot away, and Walt didn't realize that. So we're going to move our mulberry tree. We have another mulberry tree over there by the back garden, so we're going to plant the other mulberry tree there. And then we just planted on the boundary line, we planted 2 fig trees and 2 plum trees out there too. I figured put them out there because the fruit's going to drop, and then the deer can eat it, and also the flies, because, you know, fig trees bring a lot of flies. I don't know if you guys have ever had one. So that'll all be kept out there. Plus we can just throw the fruit, you know, into the chicken pen if it's rotted, and it's easy to go out there and pick. So that's what's going on with that. Over here is where our raspberry bush is. It hasn't grown a whole lot. You'll see what it does this year. And I have a blueberry bush over there. Well, the blueberry bush is in the tire, and I'm going to move that. So there's raspberry and something else over there. I can't remember what. So that's where we are. Look at our flowers are blooming. Did y'all notice that? Because they think it's springtime, because it's so warm this week. Look at that. How pretty are those? Yeah, they're always the first thing that blooms. Yeah, over here some too. See? How pretty. Maybe I'll put some in a vase today. So that's kind of the gardening plans where they are right now. I got some cleanup to do. I've been lazy lately. I don't know, January was busy and the beginning of February was just overwhelming, and I have a arts and crafts fair in Johnson City on 18th for St. Patrick's Day, a Main Street Days thing, and that's always a lot of fun and usually good sales. I have a lot of items from, I closed down my storefront in Southern Market. It was just not making enough money. Wasn't the right venue for my art, and the rent was very high. So I closed that down and just going to do markets for right now. And so that's a good market for us. We last year did really well. And it's fun. You know, it's fun. It's close. Cajun's going to come up and help me, which is good because Walt's working. And we'll see how it goes. Got lots of projects in the art studio, especially sewing. I want to sew me some summer dresses, you know, we just wear around the house, just comfortable. And so I got to get busy on that. But that's kind of where we are. And yeah, life is good on the homestead, Tiger Creek, yeah, on Rome Mountain. I tell you, I took a ride yesterday over the mountain and around, and it was just so pretty. And I didn't realize there's a huge lake. It's about 15 minutes down the road, 20 minutes maybe. But I don't know whether it's private or not. I don't know if there's a place where we can go swimming. I'm looking for things for the boys to do. My two grandsons, Alonzo is 9 and almost he'll be 10 in August, and Keegan is 15 and he'll be 16 in August. And they get along fairly well. They both are gamers, and yeah, they're both only children, so they do have a little conflict with who's the alpha in the bunch, but basically they love each other. They really do. So I'm getting them both in July. So July's a hot month. So I'm trying to find swimming holes because they both like to swim. It's hard to find things that with that age range. You know, that's a little bit of an age range. So I'm trying to find things to do. So if you guys know of anything in Johnson City or around Roan Mountain, Elizabethton, Kingsport, that area for kids to do, to have fun, let me know. All right. Well, y'all have a good day. Walt's going to be home soon. And I'm just chilling out here. It's nice and breezy, hanging out with Chaos. Yeah, say hi. Chaos. Chaos. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. He's getting to be an old man. Huh. He likes to get out there and do things. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.